don't mean to. My got mad, told me to leave, she thought I was meant to.
The NBA on 2K Sports welcomes you to Wednesday afternoon basketball. Joined by Richard Jefferson and Greg Anthony, I'm Kevin Harlan. David Aldridge is with us on the sidelines.
Here we go.
The tip-off goes to the Celtics. Here's Drexler.
Nice work to get it inside and draw the contact.
Boston shooting their first free throws of the game. The first free throw is good.
Clyde Drexler, 2 shots.
Both free throws good from Drexler.
And it's a luxury to have a great shooter like him at the line. Very rarely see him miss.
Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. And Gilgeous-Alexander throws it down.
And moving with such speed, the quickness of SGA's drives, something to admire.
Here's Williamson. Stoudemire, right side. Pass to Brunson. Latrey. That one's in, his first shot this game.
And that's exactly what he's looking for, draining the triple.
And Gilgeous-Alexander's got the ball here for Boston. It's a three-point game. Hits the three-point bomb.
The real come at us, and we're coming right back at you.
Yeah, I love the competitive fire right there. You drain a triple on us, and I'm coming for my revenge.
Now here's Williamson. Duncan grabs the rebound. And stolen by Williamson. And that one, good.
Well, that's just the pure strength and explosiveness of Williamson. Easily finishes there through the contact.
And here we go. Williamson heading to the hoop. And so it looks like the Celtics will retain possession here. Paul George with the steal. And pushing it up, here's Boston.
Love a big man who can pass. Great instincts. Duncan finds the open man there for the bucket.
Hart with it. Guarded now by Duncan. Hart, no good. George with no one around. Wasted no time on that shot, but it's off the mark. Now about 2 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Here's Williamson. And Williamson throws it down.
Goodness, I mean, we feel those scion dunks shake the floor.
Outside for Gilgeous-Alexander. Back to Duncan. Pass to Gilgeous-Alexander. Zion Williamson grabs the miss. GA, as you know, Jalen Brunson is a second-generation NBA player.
Yeah, his dad, Rick Brunson, was an 11.
Oh, how about that slam?
Man, what a creative finisher. Edwards is so fast in how he gets up to throw it down.
Hart, no good.
And even without that three-ball dropping for him, the defense should have done more on that last play.
And so Edwards will bring it up for Boston. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. And Greg, it didn't take long for Anthony Edwards to prove himself in the NBA.
There's so much to like about his game. As outstanding as his offense is, his defense cannot be overlooked. He is a lockdown presence when he needs to be. And talented in so many ways. Edwards is focusing on two things: the refining of his shot mechanics and the sustained level of engagement.
Why? Just why? Come on, man. Save that one for practice.
Just under 3.5 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Here's Reed. The baseline jumper goes down.
Not the shot I expected him to take or make, but hey, look, joke's on me. He hit it.
Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. Takes a big high bounce and goes in.
And good work inside. SGA will make more room for himself on the perimeter when he can be effective down low.
The shake. Throws it down as the official calls the foul. It may be a three-point play. It's going to go on Clyde Drexler.
Nice play, and you can see they're gathering momentum.
Yeah, but they can't relax. They've got to keep building on this lead because it is not safe.
And this guy just does everything. Scores, passes, good rebounder, just an all-around terrific basketball player.
The way he can elevate over a defender from deep, very tough to contain outside the arc.
Oh, we've seen some great shots in the first quarter. No shortage of offense. Boston on top, ending the first. And if you're just joining us, we've played through one quarter in this one. And a closer look here at the scoring breakdown for Boston.
Showing their energy so far, sprinting up and down the floor, getting out in transition and taking advantage.
And so far, just a great job forcing turnovers and creating opportunities in the open floor. The defense at the heart of that.
Here's George. Shot clock at 6. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, good for 3. Gilgeous-Alexander's got the lead up to 9 now for Boston. The kick out to Sabonis. And the slam dunk by Sabonis.
Love to see Sabonis get dominant like this. Defense has no chance to interfere.
Outside for George. And a great assist by Gilgeous-Alexander as that one goes in. George has got 5 now.
And with the lead, I like the strategy here. Continue to get the ball to guys who can do something with it.
This is when good players really get after it. He can sense that they're reeling, and he's gonna put his foot on the pedal.
Back to Rivers. And it's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with the rebound. Greg, seems like we always talk about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's offensive side. But when it comes to deflections and steals, his defense, he's one of the best.
Yeah, his two-way ability is sometimes overlooked in the mainstream media. But people in the know how good of a defender he is.
That's a guy you want taking shots, a quality offensive player.
Now a timeout called by Boston. And the Celtics making a change here. And now approaching 2 minutes of action here in the second quarter. To the inside. Sabonis with the steal. Pass to Hart. To the middle. Paul George with the steal. And now the fast break. Edwards with the ball. Here's Reed. Here's Leonard. The kick out to Antetokounmpo. No good from outside. Boston trails by 8. And George gets the whistle that time.
Paul George.
That's his first foul.
Personal foul. First team foul.
It's Hart on the wing. The basket good off the assist from Drexler.
3.
Hart's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Here's George. Oh, and he plucks it off the glass. Wow. Outside, Drexler. Back to Stoudemire. And such a nice move to make the basket work.
Looking like a monster inside. Stoudemire using that size and power to get the finish.
Here's Edwards. Edwards loves it in there.
And really, it's been a major aspect of their offense in the early stages here. Their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range.
1:14 left in the first half. Pass to Starks. To the paint. And stolen by Leonard. No one near Edwards as he lets it fly. And he gets the friendly spin, and that one drops. Boston trails by 7. From deep, Drexler. Out to Stoudemire. 5 on the clock. Boston needs to get off a shot. Sabonis. Antetokounmpo pulls it in.
I thought he had that all sewn up, but somehow the defense just threw him off.
And the dunk by Reed.
Wow, what a pass there. He made that a very easy basket with that setup.
5 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Again, the miss by the Celtics. Boston leading by 9. And Leonard has it in the corner. Off target from three-point range. Inside. Sabonis. And the rejection by Antetokounmpo.
How about the level of activity this dude just brings to the glass? Just refusing to give up on plays, and his teammates, trust me, they appreciate the effort.
And so it's Boston, bringing the quarter to a close with a 7-point lead. They're feeling very confident, shooting the ball with great efficiency and dictating the pace. And we've got more M2K Sports coming your way after this break. And if you're just joining us in this one, first half is in the books, 1 half to go. Outside, Gilgeous-Alexander. In the corner, George with it. Outside, Gilgeous-Alexander. Offline with his 3. Boston trails by 7. No one near Williamson as he lets it go. Cans it from downtown. Williamson's got the opening bucket to start the second half for Boston. And now looks like we've got an injury here, guys. We'll likely see him come out of the game.
Yeah, looks like he's in real pain. Definitely a concern right now.
Look, I'm no doctor, and I know that might be a surprise to a lot of you people, but look, that looked pretty harsh, and he's certainly going to have to miss some extended time.
And you really have to appreciate the steady effort of Gilgeous-Alexander. The game looks like it comes easy to him, but he is one of the hardest workers on the floor.
And Tim Duncan gets the whistle that time. That's foul number 2 for him.
And you can see he just didn't get squared up with his feet.
And Hart has it in the corner. And it's Paul George with the foul. That'll be his second foul of the game.
Second personal foul. Second team foul.
Back to Brunson. 5 to shoot. Williamson outside. Over Giannis.
And that's a great job by Giannis of altering the shot.
And it's Williamson missing. Here's Antetokounmpo. And here's Gilgeous-Alexander outside.
I'm shocked that didn't turn into 3 points. I mean, he makes you pay on those nearly every time.
Brunson with a clean look. And a miss there on the triple. Got a piece of it. And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Brunson.
And he made the right read on that play, but just couldn't secure the steal.
And deflections, they're a stat that all teams track. They show who is the most active defensively.
Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. Giannis inside. Using his size, Giannis!
And this is where you feed Giannis. The closer he is, the more dangerous he becomes.
Time called here. The Celtics decide to talk it over. And as the coaches go to the clipboard to outline their strategy during the timeout, the players getting a chance to rehydrate. with some Gatorade. That's key to staying fresh all the way to the final whistle.
And Kevin, it really is. And every one of these players knows it. They're all making sure to stay hydrated. It's impossible to play your A game if you're not getting enough to drink, especially towards the end of games when the physical toll of a long contest really starts to add up.
From deep, George traps in the tray. And now it's an 11-point Boston lead.
And what a smooth three-point shot. George has worked hard to develop that stroke.
Here's Edwards. Oh, Edwards!
Incredible reverse throwdown. Excellent body control.
And guys, I'd even go as far to say that was a punctuation dunk. He had a nice open look right there. Sabonis has got 7 points in the game.
Clearly, Sabonis has that shot dialed in before he even gets the ball. He catches it and shoots it with a quick release.
It's good. Gilgeous-Alexander's got the lead up to 13 now for Boston. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Sabonis. Rebound, Boston. Down low. Picked him clean. And we've got a whistle. The refs are indicating it's a transition take foul. It's going to be a shot and the ball. This is his third free throw attempt of the game. So it's both teams making substitutions here. There's 49 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. Pass to Mourning. Back to Brunson. Fires the three. Brunson from long distance.
3 points.
Just a reflexive move by Brunson, putting complete trust in his mechanics.
Gilgeous-Alexander. Zion Williamson grabs the miss. Here's Starks. Draws contact on the shot, and now a three-point play chance as he'll head to the line.
How about the concentration? He gets hit, but stays with the play and gets the finish.
He's getting his first free throw attempt of the game here. Boston leading by 6. Starks with the steal. Outside, Drexler. And here's Millsap from the arc.
Boston foul. John Starks. First personal foul. Second team foul. Substitution on the court.
Outside, George. Just 3 on the clock. The shot's good. Gilgeous-Alexander making the play. And so it's Boston in the driver's seat, up 8 points at the end of the quarter. And it's been their rugged defense setting the tone. Back right after this. And with 3 quarters behind us, let's see what this fourth period holds in store for us. And it's Drexler with the ball for the Celtics. Trailing here by 8. Out left to the wing. Reed with the steal. Here's Edwards. Driving in. It's in, and he's a very efficient 5 for 6 on the game. And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for Boston.
They've been defending with excellent anticipation all game long. Just look at how many times they've managed to get their hands on the ball.
And another place they're finding success is in transition. They've been working hard to get ahead of the defense and find those easy ones.
Substitution on the court.
Poke loose. Stolen by Brunson. And it's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with the rebound. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
And able to get himself to the line. SGA so crafty inside there to get the contact.
Gilgeous-Alexander hits them both. Boston trails by 12. Here's Williamson. And Williamson throws it down.
It really does make the game easy for your teammates when you can lead them to the rim that well with a pass.
Kick out to Giannis. Inside. Makes the bucket. Now he's got 5 field goals, 5 for 8 in the game.
Impressive mobility right there from George. He's fantastic at finding that space off the pick and roll.
The Celtics call time. And while we've got a moment, let's send it over to our terrific reporter, David Aldridge. David?
Well, guys, over that last break, I listened to Mike D'Antoni talk to his team. Now, his tone was pretty serious. He said, you guys need to prove you're in this. No one else can do it for you. Time to pour on the gas. We'll see if that fire gets lit, guys.
Thank you, David. Duncan at the elbow. The 3 from George. Sabonis grabs the board. Boston trails by 10. Williamson from long range. Yes, it is. Scored that as a bucket. Number 5 on a 5 for 11 night. The way, Greg, they're sharing the ball tonight, mesmerizing.
Everyone's getting to touch it, and everyone's contributing.
Edwards can't hit. Brunson scanning the floor. Pass to Sabonis. The Celtics working the ball around now. Clock at 6. Here's Williamson. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. It goes on Giannis Antetokounmpo.
This is what you love about Williamson. On the shorter side for a big man, but he's developing the pump fake as an equalizer.
And great work at the line there to chip away at the lead. A few more productive trips here, and things could really get interesting.
George. Driving inside. Count the basket. And Boston leads by 7.
This is SGA's role. He's out here to score and score often.
And there's the foul. It'll go on Josh Hart. That is his first foul of the game. A little over 2.5 minutes have passed here in the 4th quarter. Sabonis with the block.
Nice defense there from Sabonis, getting his timing just right to come up with the block.
George with the steal. Gilgeous-Alexander with it. Now defended by Williamson. Here's George. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
Yeah, easy call.
Team foul. At the line for Boston.
So the first one drops, and that stretches their lead to 8.
And you know, George is a tough cover. The length, the range, smooth athlete, very difficult to match up with.
And he hits both free throws here. So now it's a 9-point ball game. And Boston has possession. Here's Williamson into the lane.
Love to see Giannis get aggressive on defense, using that reach to track down the block.
The rebound by the Celtics. It's Hart on the wing. The basket good off the assist from Drexler. They're in good position here to ride it out.
Certainly, if they just play smart, this game's over.
And it's Gilgeous-Alexander missing.
This is a do-or-die possession. They have got to get points.
Anything other than a make is game over. This is where you lean on your stars to get you to the finish line.
Antetokounmpo can't get it to go. And so it's Hart who brings up the ball for the Celtics. 7-point differential. Boston, no good that time either. And here's Drexler outside. Nails the triple.
It's been this way since halftime. Tremendous production from beyond the arc.
In the modern NBA, you have to hit threes to win games, and they've made that adjustment since the break.
So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's a 6-point ball game.
Making no mistakes and putting some extra nails in the coffin right here. That pretty much did it.
8 seconds left in the game. From deep, Brunson. Here's Sabonis. Duncan with some nice D. So we see Boston get the win here. It was up for grabs right until the final seconds.
Yeah, and for me, Kevin, what stood out is just the overall trust this group had.
Moving their bodies, they're moving their heads so fluid. Bass be bumping, so we be jumping. Welcome to the party, yeah. We got food if you're hungry, some side if you want it. In the back if you're thirsty. And every bad at the party, yeah. We vibing and grinding one night. Got this, yeah, we did it this time. Got guys in the corner, they are. Shawty done had a lesson for the night. Little mama came up and caught me by surprise. You know that your boy had to shoot a shot. Now we face to face, both the eyes locked. I came up for it and said, hey there, little mama, if you need a dance partner, I'm more than happy to help you. Come here. I turned her around, her body on mine, she sat in my hand. On her, she holding on tight, she follow my lead. I'm pulling her close, she said it feels nice. She from around here, not just for the night. She gave me a number, said call me sometime. She left the party with a friend by her side. Pulling up, hands outside with your up. Lay low, go ahead, crank that up. This my pocket, I say when we stop. But we ain't stopping.
Thanks for tuning in this Wednesday. 2K Sports presents the NBA. Kevin Harlan here with Greg Anthony and a pair of Hall of Famers with us, Doris Burke and David Aldridge. And so the tip-off, it's Miami. Here's George. And Boston with the rebound.
I'm sure he's kicking himself. He hates to blow that kind of opportunity.
Stolen by Ewing. And here we go. Off target with his three. Now, here is George. The kick out to Antetokounmpo. And it's Reed pulling it down. You know, you were talking about Giannis. He can put up 30 a game without taking many shots from the perimeter. That's a tall order these days, especially because he gets doubled every single time. Knocked away. Here's Ball. Pass to George. No one near him. Good, he hits the jump shot.
Silky smooth jumper from Paul George, and he just lets it fly whenever he gets free from that spot.
And that one's good, George.
Yeah, that's a good way to start the game. Nice inside bucket right there.
Here's George. Duncan with some nice D.
Boy, surprised he missed that. The defense just good enough to prevent that bucket.
Screen by Duncan. George. And the layup falls.
Paul George is very difficult to contain on a dribble drive. He's got length, handle, and size. Good luck.
Here's George. He sticks that one in from 20 feet away.
I'm not sure what he was thinking exactly, but he finds a way to convert.
Duncan in the corner. And the three off target.
Boy, he won't miss many from that spot. The defense gets lucky there.
Here's Ball. Driving to the basket. Here's Reed. That three off the mark.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
What a terrific take to the rim. Paul George is just giving it to the defense right now. Tenacious on that drive.
Boston making a switch here, and he can't hit the second. And it goes out of bounds. That one off Duncan.
Yeah, gets a finger on it, but just can't quite come up with the steal.
But a really good read on his part, being disruptive at the defensive end right now.
Now here's Ball. Pass to Reed. And the dunk by Reed.
This guy looks like a veteran in pick and roll action already. LaMelo Ball just taking the defenders apart.
Reed picks up the loose ball, but he was in the backcourt. They'll give it up.
To the away team. Coming onto the floor for the away team, number 2, Kawhi Leonard.
Boston trailing. Gilgeous-Alexander surveying the D. Outside Edwards. There's the drive. And that one, good.
Yeah, Anthony Edwards in the painted area is going to be a force. Size, strength, and hops. Look out.
George, that's a two-pointer. That falls. Nice feed that time from Ball. George has got 6.
Good way to start this game. You want to get him rolling as early as possible.
He's a guy who, if he gets hot, he can carry your offense for long stretches.
And here is Ball. After Anthony Edwards made that last three-pointer.
Boy, get used to this. LaMelo Ball, another assist. This guy's got a chance to be one of the all-time great passers.
Now here's Edwards. He has 5. Here's Reed. And it's Miami with the rebound. Reed with the steal. Outside Edwards. Pass to Gilgeous-Alexander. Here's Duncan. And he hits the jumper for 2.
This guy is a pick-your-poison kind of player. Very hard defensively to cover all your bases with him.
1 quarter in the books, and it's been a close one so far. Boston leads by 2. And back in a moment as we'll get underway with quarter number 2. And it's been a pretty even game here after 1 quarter of play. And what do you guys think about Boston here in this one?
Playing inside out in that first quarter led to some high percentage shots in the paint.
It is great when you can get that established early, because to me it opens up every other aspect of your game.
Now here's Embiid. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Embiid's got the lead up to 4 now for Boston.
And you know, guys, with Embiid on the floor, it's not just about his individual play. He changes everything for everyone on that team. That's how dominant he is. It's not just statistics. His presence alone propels them.
Gilgeous-Alexander, that's a 2-pointer. No good with the wing jumper. On the wing, Miller. Nifty move. And the wide open shot from Green. A 3-pointer is right on target.
Oh, not even thinking about it. When Green is catching and firing like that, you know he's feeling.
And it's Gilgeous-Alexander missing. Miller with a wide open look. No good on the three. Austin with the ball. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. Yours, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has a chance to go down as one of the greatest Canadian basketball players ever.
Kevin, that is a bold statement when you consider that the great Steve Nash, 2-time MVP and one of the best passers in the history of the game, is of Canadian descent. But this guy, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, is putting together quite the resume. Let's just hope he can sustain that stardom.
Here's Green. Kicks it out to Williamson. Miller outside. Paul George grabs the miss.
And on an open look like that, he's very gifted at making the weak coverage pay.
Edwards with confidence.
The work that Anthony Edwards is putting in as a shooter is there. That range shot so important. Nice three-point look right there.
Pass to Leonard. To end the run. And it's in there. 1:46 left in the first half. George double team. From deep onto the Kumbo. That ball's nice feed that time from George.
You like to see Giannis hitting those, but you'll live with that if you're the defense.
Shots good by Green.
For real. Come at us, and we're coming right back at you.
And you would expect nothing less from these two, taking pride and making plays.
We've got 1:28 left to play here in the half. Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. Pass to Giannis. Back to Gilgeous-Alexander. Banked in off the glass. Gilgeous-Alexander's got 6 points in the quarter.
Well, that's SGA in a nutshell right there. Quickness, length, guile, finishing on the interior.
That is ferocious.
You said it. That was ferocious. Oh, he really broke up that transition opportunity. Looks like it'll be a transition take foul. Now it's take. A moment to get your guys' take on the scoring so far for Boston.
Well, they haven't wasted any time getting into a groove from deep, putting up and hitting a healthy amount of three-pointers thus far.
They've also done a really good job taking advantage of miscues. Their defense has been stifling in this one.
And Leonard gets it to go.
This team relies on that shot from Kawhi.
Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. Here's Giannis. It's hauled in by Sigma. Miami trailing. 4 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Over Giannis. And they're unable to get the tying basket there. And so Giannis will bring it up for Boston. And the bucket is good. 3-point play chance here for him.
Well, Kawhi Leonard has zero fear. In fact, contact, it doesn't deter him at all.
And he'll be shooting his first free throw of the game here. 11 seconds left in the first half. Leonard, that's for 2. No good that time. It's stolen by Green. And that's it for the first half of action. What's been a very close game here. Boston on top. They lead by 5. You step away briefly, but get you right back out here for the start of the third quarter after our halftime. And as we get into this third quarter, as we've seen so far, neither team able to create much separation on the scoreboard yet. Boston leading by 5. Antetokounmpo looking it over. It's George on the wing. driving inside.
Paul George.
Yep, that one goes in there.
Assist from
That's 7 points for Paul George.
There's a toughness in the attitude of Paul George. Perfectly fends off the D on his way to the rack.
George with no one around. From outside, off the mark. To the inside. Stolen by Tatum. In transition, here comes Miami. And then Ewing with the dunk.
You've got to see the whole floor. LaMelo Ball does exactly that, finds the open man.
And you
Tatum flies in to finish it off.
Wow, how about the long arms and the timing of Jason Tatum on the alley-oop? Nice.
And there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul, shot misses. He'll be shooting 2.
Yeah, the defender all over.
This is his first free throw of the game. Both free throws good from Antetokounmpo.
This is about the last guy you want to send to the stripe right now. They keep fouling him, and he keeps making them.
And it's Jason Tatum with the foul. That's his first foul.
Second team foul.
Little over a minute gone here in the second half. Right side, Antetokounmpo. Using his size, Giannis.
And you love watching Giannis operate inside. So assertive enforcement.
The 3 from Tatum. Drills it from outside. Tatum's got 5 points so far.
What a beautiful stroke from range. Defensively, you've got to try to take him out of his comfort zone.
Boston leading by 4. Left side, Gilgeous-Alexander. Out to Duncan. On the wing, George. Clock at 6. And it's Miami with the rebound. Here's Ball. And it's blocked. And he keeps control of the ball. Here's Duncan. Tried to bank it in, but he missed it. Miami with the ball. Ewing outside. Good ball movement here by Miami. Tatum with it. Guarded now by Duncan. No good with the triple. Here's George. Got him with the pump fake, but couldn't finish. Miami trails by 4. Fires for 3. And Paul George gets the 3. He's got 9.
Gorgeous. That pull-up jumper is simply gorgeous. Paul George rises above everyone.
It's deflected, and that's out of bounds. Boston will retain possession. Miami on defense. And then George with the jam.
And putting his explosive athleticism on full display there. George is capable of some highlight reel dunks.
And it's Ball penetrating. Here's Reed. For the tie. And it's Reed pulling it down.
Well, he's got a great stroke. That one almost dropped. Nice work to get it inside and draw the contact.
For Miami, they had shot just 1 free throw earlier. 1 for 1 in the game. He's perfect from the line this time.
This is what makes him a challenge to stop. He will beat you from the floor, and he can also beat you from the line.
Pass to Embiid. Outside, George. Off the mark there with the 3-point shot.
Pressured that shot by getting the hand up just as good as a block.
And he did it without fouling, and that's become an art, changing shots without making contact.
Here's Boston now. Their biggest lead of the game was 9. Here's Reed. And here's George. Over to the wing. Down low. Back to Embiid. Second shot opportunity. And the last shot at the buzzer doesn't go in for him. And we just finished the 3rd quarter, and we've got a tight ball game here. Boston leads by 1.
30 seconds.
We've reached the fourth quarter, and what has been a very competitive game should be an exciting finish. And so Green will bring it up for Miami. They trail by 1. And the foul called on Edwards. That is his first foul of the game.
First personal foul. First team foul.
Tatum deciding where to go with it. And that won't go, missing the go-ahead bucket. Outside Edwards. And yep, finally drops after rolling around the rim. And Boston leads by 3.
Well, don't think twice. Ball touches your hands, you let it go, Anthony Edwards.
Hits it from three-point range.
Their ability, again, to stretch the floor, particularly in this second half.
And guys, boy, when you're hitting, it sure does work. It obviously opens up major options at the offensive end.
The shot's good.
Looming large on the interior. Embiid, hard to deny.
Outside, Green. Takes it inside. From deep, George. And again, Miami with the triple.
That's one of those clutch shots he's known for. When the pressure is high, he seems to be the most locked in.
Now a timeout called by Boston. Boston making a switch here. And let's head over to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
I was able to listen in on what Rudy Tomjanovich went over with his team. He begged his players to keep it simple out there. Told them one possession at a time. Don't look at the scoreboard. What's most important is running our plays and being aggressive defensively. We'll see if they can follow that game plan. Guys?
All right, David, thanks.
Heavy incoming from beyond the arc, a key part of their initiative this entire fourth quarter.
It feels like they have worked their perimeter game to perfection, swinging the ball, cashing in from the outside. What a performance.
Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. Pass to Sigma. And it goes out of bounds. That one off Duncan.
Team ball.
Game moves along. 2 minutes gone here in the fourth.
Remaining in the game. 2 minutes.
Outside Tatum. Now Reed. Back to Tatum. 6 on the shot clock. Miami needs to get a shot off. Shot from the top of the key.
And bringing that effort on both ends. Giannis, a tall, wily guy who forces you to take tough shots. How about the concentration from Duncan? Doesn't budge, even in the biggest of moments.
The 3 from George. Got it. Number 7 on the night. 7 for 11 from the floor.
And guys, George takes pride in hitting big shots. Just get him the ball and let him do his thing.
There is no moment too big, no pressure too heavy for Mr. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. The delivery is on time.
And I thought that was going to drop. It looked good from here.
There's Anthony Edwards. Here's Giannis. Some solid defense from Reed. Miami leading by 3. Good ball movement here by Miami. Buries the long-range jumper.
Well, for a big man, his stroke is just beautiful, and because of the height, it's so hard to challenge.
Gilgeous-Alexander can't get it to go. On the wing, George. Oh, and he misses the dunk.
This has reached desperation time for him.
I'll tell you, you need absolute perfection on every possession. That's what it's going to take here.
So they foul intentionally. And here's a timeout now from Coach Rudy Tomjanovich. Turning here to our analysts, what factors, guys, come to your mind?
And you know what? They could foul here, guys, but and send them to the line. But I think it makes more sense to play tough D, maybe try and force a turnover. Even if the shot clock runs down, there'll still be plenty of time to work with.
And that's an intentional foul.
Second personal foul. Third team foul.
First free throw is good, and that makes it a 7-point lead.
You cannot give Paul George these extra chances. This guy is deadly from the free throw line throughout his career.
We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. And George gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. The three from George.
This guy is a perennial all-defensive team member. The wingspan, a problem for offensive players.
And it's blocked by Gilgeous-Alexander. Fires from deep. And George gets it to go. George has got the lead up to 11 now for Miami.
Unwilling to let up even for a moment. That's his killer instinct, just fanning the flame.
One thing I enjoy is watching players who don't pay attention to the score, who lock in on the moment and